You find yourself always putting other people's needs ahead of your own, or you find it difficult to say no to requests when it's not convenient for you, then it simply means that you're a people pleaser. But not to worry, I am not here to judge you. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you in this video 5 powerful tips that will help you to stop shrinking yourself to please others and finally learn how to set boundaries to protect your own interests. Let's dive in. Number one way to stop shrinking yourself to please others is by setting healthy boundaries. And when I say boundaries, it is as simple as knowing your limits, knowing the limit to the things you can do, and learning how to communicate them effectively to people. So how do you set these boundaries? When you discover that you are someone that people can always call you out of the blues, even if it is in the middle of the night, they are calling you because they know that when they call you, you are going to definitely pick their calls and do whatsoever thing they want them to do, even when you know it's not going to be convenient. Then this is what you should do to set a healthy boundary to protect yourself. You are going to set a boundary and tell yourself that once it is 10 p.m., I am not going to pick anybody's call. And when you set these boundaries, you communicate it to people around you who are always seeking for help and even beyond. Let them know that once it's 10 p.m., you're not taking anybody's calls. And when you set this boundary, be so firm about it. Don't allow your emotions to derail you, because honestly, your emotions are going to try to overwhelm you when you set this boundary in the first place. But what is going to make you to be able to achieve it is the ability to stand firmly on that boundary. If it's possible, once it's 10 p.m., off your phone. Switch off your phone. When they call you the first day after 10 p.m. and your phone is switched off, calls you the second day after 10 p.m. and your phone is switched off, by the time they keep doing this for like a week or a month, they are going to begin to learn how to respect that boundaries. They are going to get it to stick with them that if you call this girl by 10 p.m., she's not going to be able to pick your calls. That is what setting healthy boundaries is. Learning what you can do and what you cannot do, what is off limit for you, and then communicating it clearly. It's as simple as saying no to requests that are inconvenient for you. The second thing to do to stop shrinking yourself to please people is to set goals and priorities. When I mean setting goals and priorities, you have things you want to do with your life. You have career, you have job, you have skills, you have stuff that you want to do with your life. Set them in the order of priority, the things that are most important to you, so that when anybody is trying to demand for a favor from you, you are going to check out these goals that you have set for yourself. You know what you want to achieve with your life. You know what you want to achieve in your place of work. You also know what you want to achieve with your money. So setting priorities is telling yourself this particular thing is going to be very important to me at this particular time. Maybe you're someone that does a 9 to 5 and you go to work by 8 a.m. to come back by 2 p.m. You're going to tell yourself that any request coming in between this 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., you're not going to attend to it. So your work is your top priority. So anything else that is coming in between that time to distract you, you are saying no to it. It's as simple as that. Even when it comes to money, when you have your money, you budget what you want to do with your money, so that if somebody is demanding for a favor that is going to affect you, because one funny thing about people, please understand, people are going to ask you for things that you know is very inconvenient to give out, even if it's your last couple, because you are kind, because you don't just have the heart to say no. People are going to push you, people are going to ask, and you're going to give because you feel guilt, because you feel that if you don't give them, they are going to see you as a bad person or as a bad person in their story. So what do? You prioritize your money. This is what I want to do with this money. So any other request coming in that will make you to touch that money, you are declining it. When you set priorities and the goals of what you want to actualize and how these things are going to affect your life, when you decline those offers, you're not going to feel guilt. You're not going to feel like you offended anybody. If they lie, they do not understand. And the honest truth about people that make you to shrink yourself to people please is that they know what they are doing. They know you're a good person. That is why they keep coming back to you. The third way to overcome people pleasing is by adopting positive self-talk. What do I mean by positive self-talk? Sometimes when somebody asks you for something and you don't get to do that thing for them, maybe because you are incapable or because you have other things you're doing for yourself, you are going to feel guilty. You're going to feel as if you've offended them. When this kind of feelings comes in, you're going to remind yourself that you also deserve to have time for yourself, to get things done for yourself as well. You remind yourself that you're not obligated to making anybody happy or to spending your own time and resources and energy to make other people happy. Their joy, their happiness, their well-being is not tied to you. Yes, I know that you might have your loved ones, you might have people that you don't like to temper with, but you're going to remind yourself that you also have things to do for yourself. and that those things are also important to you. That way it's going to reduce the guilt, because honestly, the reason why we people please most of the times is because of the guilt that comes from not being able to do what they are demanding from us to do at that very particular point in time. The fourth way, this one is the most effective one. This one is the most effective one. Don't make excuses. When you say no to any request, don't explain. You need to understand that no is a complete sentence. Don't try to explain the reason why you said no. Don't try to explain the reasons behind your no. Every time you make excuses for the reason why you are not going to be able to help them, it is going to give them the privilege to still adjust their request. Maybe during your work hour and someone comes to tell you to help them to get something done and you say no, they are going to ask you why. And the moment you begin to make excuse for that your why, it is going to make them to be able to adjust their request. Maybe you tell them that I cannot do this right now because I have work to get done. I want to finish this work by so and so time and get other things done. They are going to tell you something like, oh, but it's just for 5 minutes. 5 minutes will not hurt. Oh, but it's just for 10 minutes. 10 minutes will not hurt. You can always come back to it. And that is how you will end up giving into their request without you knowing it. By the time you are back from doing it, you now get to realize that that 5 minutes that told you was not going to hurt is actually hurting. So whenever you say no, be so firm about your no. Don't explain anything to anybody. No is a complete statement. The fifth one is to assess their request. Know when people are trying to take advantage of your generosity or your kind-heartedness. There are people who always run to you for help, not because they don't have other people to run to for help, but simply because they know that no matter how hard it is, you're not going to decline. They know that whenever they come to you, you're never going to have to say no to them. And the funny thing about this kind of people is that when they ask you for a favor and you do them that favor, when it's your turn for them to do you a favor, they are suddenly unavailable. But whenever they are in a need or they want you to do them a favor, they run back to you again. Meanwhile, this was someone that was never there for you in the first place. These people know that you cannot say no. They already know that you are very generous, that you are very kind-hearted, and they try to take advantage of that every now and then to reap you. You are going to take your time to assess this kind of people. Know the reason why they are always coming back to you. Know the reason why they are always there demanding for one or two things from you, because they know that you cannot say no to it. And once you find out that these people intentionally come to you to ask for help, say no to their requests and be firm about things. Be firm, use a decisive tone. Don't even give them a chance to try to convince you or to guilt trip you into doing what you do not want to do. And don't ever allow yourself into the trap of feeling guilty or into the trap of feeling like they are going to see you as a bad person, as the villain in their story. They already know that you're a good person. They're just manipulating you into doing the things that you do not want to do. So learn how to assess people's requests as it comes. It's going to help you a lot. By doing these little things, you are going to see yourself beginning to stop people please. It's not just going to stop in a day, but when you begin to make conscious efforts into declining some requests, into saying no to minor favors, that is how you stop people pleasing and eventually get to a point where you no longer feel the need to do something for people because you want them to like you or because you want them to see you as a good person. You now get to a point where you no longer feel the need to get external validation from anybody by overdoing yourself or by outdoing yourself to please them. Thank you so much for watching. If you have gained any knowledge from this video, please don't forget to subscribe and share your opinions in the comment section with me. Thank you. See you in my next video.